some of the common pattern for those who have tried many fitness programs. Maybe perhaps share some of the common traits that my ladies can recognize and make a difference in their life.
Sure.
And set a goal and get it right there, right away.
Right. No, that's a really good point. That's actually great you brought this up, because we just had a discussion with one of our clients yesterday about this exact topic. And boy, was it
surprised. 8 programs. It's like, I feel,
Right. So ladies and gents, for those of you watching right now, what Helen and I are referring to is yesterday, we had a conversation with client X. Out of respect, we won't say any names. What she basically told us is that over a course of several years, she tried 8 different training programs to her memory at the time. And out of all 8, only one of them worked, and it worked okay. She was trying to lose weight. She was trying to lose an average of 30 plus pounds. And the most that she ever lost was, I believe, a little, give or take, ballpark, about 12 pounds. And that took her 9 months. So she was upset. And what she was saying is, I feel like a failure because nothing I've tried has worked. And I've tried everything, she said. I tried everything. So when I hear that, and the reason why we're bringing this up is because we want you to have more empowerment. We want you to have a better way of judging, is what you're doing working or not working? And to understand how to be able to allot enough time to your progress to be able to understand if this is the right training for you or not. Instead of what some people do, which is they'll go, 2-3 months, 2-3 years and be like, well, nothing's happening, right? We don't want you to get stuck. So here's the things to remember. Whenever you're doing any kind of training, I don't care what it is, okay? Whether it's CrossFit, lifting weights, going on runs, swimming, tennis, it doesn't matter what the exercise variable is. The first thing you got to ask yourself before you get into the exercises is, which one of the 3 metabolisms are you? Which one of the 3 metabolisms are you? Why? Why is that so important? Well, it's important because if you're an ectomorph like Helen, then doing light weights all the time will not get you very far. It'll help. It'll help stimulate some growth if you're new to training, but it won't help with developing new muscle. Because in order to build new muscle for an ectomorph, you have to push beyond what is comfortable in terms of weight, like heavy weight, in order to stimulate muscles to grow. Now, counter opposite, if you're an endomorph, if you're going heavy weights all the time, it'll just make you look bulky. So you don't want that. You want the exact opposite of what Helen's body needs, which is a lot of light reps. You mix it up with some heavy reps to add the stimulation, but you need a lot of light reps because light reps burn fat. Light reps help stimulate some muscle growth, but help decrease the body fat tremendously. Because if you're doing 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 reps in one set, you better believe your cardiovascular is going to go up. You better believe a lot more oxygen and blood flow is going to that muscle group. So that's why you got to know what is your metabolism type. And if you're the middle one, or the one that I always refer to as the Superman, right? So you got the ectomorph, you got the endomorph, you got the mesomorph. That's like the broad shoulders, small waist, no matter what's going on in your life. Those guys or gals can respond to just about anything. If they want to go big, like look bigger, they just got to lift heavy all the time, pretty much. If they want to look leaner, they just got to lift light weights or medium to light weights all the time. They have the easiest, in my opinion, in terms of transformation of body types or metabolism types. So number 1, you got to know your body type, your metabolism type. Number 2, the other thing that a lot of people don't talk about, a lot of trainers do, but a lot of them also don't. And I'm not blaming, okay, I attest, I was one of those guys for years until I realized, okay, this is stupid. We gotta talk about this. It's important. Knowing your metabolism type also directly impacts the food that you eat and the way it impacts your muscles and your results. Okay, here's what I mean. If you're an ectomorph, like Helen, you've got to eat. You've got to eat frequently. Sometimes you even got to eat before bed. The whole 4-hour mark, eat every 4 hours, give or take, to keep that muscle growing. Bull! Let's just be straight to it. No. 4 hours is a generalization. Sometimes you got to eat in 3 hours. Helen has eaten 2 hours. After 2 hours, sometimes she starts getting hangry. You know what hangry is? You know, it's like when you're trying to put on a smile, but you really want to murder somebody. That's Helen sometimes, you know? She's like, oh my God, you're calling me up. Hey, look, that's how it is. And knowing that your body is that metabolism type, if you know it, then it's no surprise if after 2 hours you're like, oh, I just ate a big salad and some chicken at 11 o'clock. It's barely 1, and I already want to murder someone. Why? Why do I want to murder people? It's barely, oh, I'm hungry again. Okay, no problem. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know that. Now, that's ectomorph, right? Let's go over to endomorph, which is moi, this guy right over here. The ones who build muscle quick and it stays, but also build fat just as quickly. We can't eat every 2 hours, or else we start looking like Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. It's really not wonderful for us. If the goal is to shred and to shrink, okay, to start looking leaner, we can't eat all the time. And we also have to watch out for our carbs. Protein's got to be high, but the carbs have to be low. Sometimes it has to be so low because a lot of people in their 40s and 50s start developing sensitivity to carbs. Then a lot of times they have to resort to a keto restriction diet where they have high fat, high protein, but very low carbs. Because you know how I always joke about having one piece of chocolate looks like I had 5 pounds on my butt. That's a real thing. Like I joke about it all the time. Smell the chocolate. Oh, there's 5 pounds on my rear end. Like that's literally what it's like to be an endomorph. And it gets worse or more difficult as we hit 40, 50, 60. Okay? So you are an endomorph. You got to know carbs are going to hit you. It's going to hit you hard. Now, if you're in the middle, right? If you're the mesomorph, well, you can play around with your carbs and proteins and your fats, and you can have a wonderful time because almost everything you do will look like you're fantastic. No joke. And I still have friends to this day that don't work out, and they look like they hit the gym 5 days a week, and it pisses everybody off a lot. It's wonderful for them. It is. But that's why. That's why, yeah. And that's why, like, if somebody goes through like workout after workout after workout, and they're like, oh, nothing's working for me. In closing, know what kind of workout is going to work best for your body type. But also, the bigger picture, know what foods to eat based on your metabolism type. If you don't know those two things, you're walking into this game of fitness and almost like with blindfolds on, hoping that you're going to just move and eat properly, eat clean, what everyone says, eat clean, right? Whatever that means to each and every individual, it's different. But it's going to be like Russian roulette, you know, click. You might hit your goals, you might not. But if you know what your metabolism type is, if you get familiar with workout routines that work well for your metabolism type, and more importantly, you know how to eat for your metabolism type, that's your recipe for success. You know those three, you're going to get some amazing.
Yes, for some of the women, if you wanted to have a metaphor, what Allan's talking about, it's just like when we women go to buy lotion for our cream, for our face, you have to understand what kind of skin you have, oily skin, combination skin, or dry skin, right? To get the best sort of product for your face. So in order for you to reach your goal, you must understand what body type, same thing as skin type. So, all right. So
I agree.
Thank you, Allan.
Thank you very much.